Before this video starts, I just wanted to say please keep jokes in the comments to a minimum. These were real people, minors in fact, that have been victimized in these situations, and I wish you keep things as a constructive conversation that gives analysis and criticism to Stylis Studios and all others that were responsible. I will also be expressing my personal thoughts on the matter and where my content will be going in the future now that these scandals have been released. Also, do not harass the people that have been documented in this video. Two wrongs don't make a right, and you are not a fan of me if you engage in that stuff. Simply report their accounts and be on your way. So with that being said, Stylis Studios. If you are not a part of the community or have been away this week, several content creators have uploaded videos exposing multiple incidences regarding the game Phantom Forces and the people behind the scenes of its community. Contractors, content creators, and even a developer for the game have been caught and documented for multiple inappropriate situations regarding minors. Anywhere from inappropriate conversations within the Stylis Studios Discord to outright taking advantage of and grooming minors in the Discord. The moderation team has also been caught burying most of this in order to save face. Now, as far as explaining the situations that have already gone public on YouTube, this is not necessarily the video for that. Creators have already documented these topics extensively, and I would basically be doing a cheap rehash that doesn't give what happened enough justice to the problems. I will, however, provide a link to those videos in the description below. Please support these videos, as I want to emphasize that the allegations and documents that Solitude is trying to report it on need to be shared, so that situations like these can be better prevented in Roblox games and hopefully games with the young fan base as a whole. Now, as someone who has been a community member and a content creator for Phantom Forces, I am unfortunately not entirely surprised and have actually heard a number of these allegations in passing. What I am surprised by, however, is the depth of the situations. The number of not only how many of these allegations exist, but the amount that have been privately acknowledged by Stylis Studios developers and moderators and then trashed, covered up so that no one can give them bad press. When things like that happen, it becomes extremely difficult as a smaller voice in the community to speak up for things that need to be talked about. Things such as Mar Demon, better known as Mar, was a prominent yet very controversial Stylis Studios contractor that created numerous updates throughout the years of Phantom Forces' development cycle. Mar was also a furry. Yes, I just wanted to point that out. Yes, this has something to do with the problem itself, and no, not all furries are predators. That's short-sighted. When this person was exposed for allegedly having inappropriate conversations and sending NSFW furry images to minors, I recall chats being heavily censored that day. In fact, the only conversation regarding Mar was his abrupt resignation at Stylis Studios on April 1st, no less. Now yes, we should most definitely acknowledge and condemn Mar for this incident. I mean, it does not take much to find out that Mar is a fucking freak. His Phantom Forces brand was so heavily associated with his NSFW content, it is sickening. The only documented time his NSFW Twitter was set to private, from what I could see at least, ironically enough, protecting minors from it, was likely when he was getting harassed over said allegations. The part that I actually want to focus on is Stylis Studios' lack of accountability in these types of situations. When the public found out about what Mar did, not a single Stylis Studios developer or moderator made a public statement about it. That is, until about 2 months ago when Axis Angle, one of the developers at Stylis Studios, went live on the official Twitch channel.
The reason why Mar was let go is because there was some bad, I don't know, like people got wind that he did stuff that wasn't super savory in 2018, but that was like a long time ago. And, but that wasn't the reason why we let him go. It was because I think there was a lot of hostility. There was a lot of bad PR, but like the reality is that people change or whatever. Yeah, you know, Mar didn't even do anything bad, like, to be completely honest. There's some like public perception or whatever. Basically, people didn't like Mar and they were looking for a reason to oust Mar, basically. But the reason why people didn't like Mar is because Mar had bad relations.
They have had multiple chances to be open and address what happened with Mar, but were dishonest about his resignation for years. This type of behavior is not the first, but rather one of many situations where higher-ups would cover up an incident happening in the community. Regardless of their efforts though, small portions of people do find out about these matters, either through A, Discord or Reddit users posting about it only to be inevitably and quickly banned, or B, somehow by the grace of God, finding direct videos about predators in the community and what they did. The odds of this happening though are often rare because of the echo chamber that is Stylis Studios, and the YouTube gods not being graceful enough to direct these videos to said community members. That being said, it is not their responsibility either, so I don't blame YouTube themselves for the situation. As a matter of fact, the Stylis Studios developers recently have made several statements to the community. These statements, however, still deflect what actually occurred and do not take full accountability for it. Hell, they don't even acknowledge in the statements that Mar was possibly still involved with Stylis Studios months after his departure. Evidence of this can be shown in Cry's statements where he shows screenshots between him and Lido, one of the developers at Stylis Studios, alongside one of Oscar's videos. I can't remember the exact specific one, but it was shown in Strider's most recent video, responding to Stylis Studios' response to him. Anyway, it's not just the developers at Stylis Studios that are at fault. These problems also extend to their moderation team. Now to clarify, it is not the entirety of the moderation team. It would be heavily disingenuous to say not a single moderator was good at what they did. With that being said, enter a user named Audi. From what I've researched, Audi was a somewhat well-known member of the Phantom Forces community who allegedly groomed and requested nudes from a minor who was suffering from mental health issues. The moderators received the report, and two moderators in particular, E-Dude and Sinois, banned the user from the server. From what is seen from these messages, an appeal was likely made moments after, and it became a discussion amongst moderators and admins. Not only were other moderators and admins siding with the alleged predator, but Shaylin, a developer of the game, also got involved, claiming that there was not enough evidence to keep this person banned. This stance, however, completely contradicts the screenshots of Audi expressing interest in viewing nudes of an underage girl in a private chat and his admission to doing said thing that got him banned in the first place. So what was the end result? E-Dude was banned for leaking the fact that Audi was getting unbanned. Audi was then unbanned, and according to a few sources, up to 5 Stylis Studios mods resigned after Audi's unbanning. Who are the users known to be responsible for the unbanning of this alleged predator? Well, according to these screenshots, Thuck, Dev, Inferni, Evir, Cry, and Stylis developer Shaylin were at fault. Please note that Cry at the time was 15 years old when these were released. Yes, he was in the wrong, but I like to imagine that he was influenced by a lot of the sentiment going on in the moderation team at the time, so years of that can mess with a kid's judgment. The others, however, have proven that they are terribly incompetent and should either have consequences for it or immediately resign if they haven't already. From what else I could gather, this did not sit well with many people, hence the video stylis.mov was created and posted, and then quickly removed, from the Discord. Please note that this is just one of several incidents. There have been others like this one that have been either inappropriately handled or swept under the rug. I wish I could go into detail, but unfortunately I cannot research this thoroughly and release this alongside everything else I discussed prior in a timely manner. My hope, however, is that others can still share these documents and create videos alongside other people, so I will provide these other stories in the links down below. Now, some people might ask why this even matters, or how this affects the game as a whole. You know, some people can separate art from the artist, and that is true. However, the type of behavior Stylis Studios engages in is dangerous because of the type of example it sets for community members. People who blindly follow Stylis Studios in the games will likely not look at Strider's video nor Solitude's, and if they do, will give it the heaviest amount of scrutiny possible. The types of narratives that Axis, Shay, and Lido are spinning to protect themselves will then be blindly copy-pasted when other people try to talk about it, whether it be in Reddit forums, the Discord server if that opens up, or in the game itself. It is very difficult to convince people like this otherwise because they are either heavily biased to Stylis or young and very impressionable. Don't believe me? Here are screenshots of a person I chatted with in-game who unironically believes that what Axis said in those Archives Discord server messages are strictly jokes. It doesn't matter if these were edgy jokes. This was a 20-year-old man who said very inappropriate things to children. As an adult, it shouldn't take anything beyond common sense not to do this. Moments after these messages were rediscovered and revealed to the public, the higher-ups of the Discord decided it was a good idea to purge everything. And yes, I mean everything. You cannot see any of the old messages in the Discord anymore. After taking a look and doing my own research on the sheer amount of things that Stylis Studios keeps trying to cover up, I am disgusted at the misconduct that took place and the mishandling of all the scandals, allegations or otherwise. These are people I looked up to at some point in my life, and it is disappointing that instead of trying to create a great game with a strong community, they turn around and harbor a complacent moderation team. Then when things go awry, they try to lock up the chats, delete things, and even threaten litigation against others time after time after time. It is unbelievable how things went unnoticed and the volume of things that have been acknowledged privately, but were never publicly taken care of nor addressed. I strongly encourage that you all do your best to make these things known while we as a group have a voice, because in my opinion, the developers at Stylis Studios do not care if all this gets buried again. It would be a great PR and monetary benefit. Now, at the time of this recording, Axis and the Stylis Studios staff have made more new statements. To anyone that is inside of the community and is admittedly torn like I am, I ask that you read it, because while it is possibly disingenuous, it does look at what is likely to be the future of the Phantom Forces Discord and Reddit. I was also made aware that there are people spreading around what is believed to be Axis Angle's docs. Please do not dox or spread personal information like this, as it harms any good that people do with coming out with their stories and creating videos like this. You are no supporter of mine if you are participating in any activity like this, and I encourage you to unsubscribe and please go watch someone else's content. There are better things that you can do, such as report people's accounts for the things they have done, and if they are guilty of genuine crimes, report them to the authorities. There have also been other documents which have recently come out regarding Axis around the ending of creating this video. TLDR, it has to do with his furry accounts and who specifically he commissioned NSFW art from. While I would like to discuss this in further detail, it would not only be too much to add in at the last minute, but also might not be savory for YouTube as a whole. And to anyone that wishes to view the doc, please note that viewer discretion is advised, and if you are under the age of 18 years old, do not go looking for it. It contains links to very NSFW websites that are used as proof, and these websites in particular you have no reason to be on. And lastly, I want to actually make a personal address to you guys and where this channel will be headed now that things have come out. If I'm being perfectly honest, I don't know anymore. A lot of my content in the future had to do with Phantom Forces, and I had many different fresh ideas that I wanted to create conversation on, such as Phantom Forces clipping community. I had several montages as well that took months, if not years, to grind clips on and edit that I still wish to upload. But with the state of the clipping community and the Phantom Forces community at large, I really don't know if that's a good idea, because it inadvertently supports the developers. I love this game. I quite literally played this game throughout my adolescence. I love and appreciate the audience I've amassed and the opportunities I've been given thanks to this game. But unfortunately, I don't know if it's a good idea to continue pursuing this avenue. Now, with all this being said, no, I do not blame anyone that will continue to play this game. Some people have spent their entire lives playing it. It's been a decent Roblox game that has captured the eyes of millions for about a decade. But if you're going to continue playing, please do not support them monetarily. They do not deserve your Robux, and instead, please share this video alongside the others linked down below so we can make sure incidents like these no longer go unnoticed. Thank you.